What is going on, people? Jumping in on this podcast to let you know about our incredible sponsors, Trained by JP, aka TBJP, the one-stop shop for all your bodybuilding needs. Whether you're looking for supplements or clothing, they have it all. Quite possibly the biggest range of subs you will find anywhere in the world, end of. Whether you're looking for pre-workouts, stim-free or high-stim, intra-workout shakes, post-workout cream of rices, vegan supplements, it is all there for you, as well as the highest grade of health subs that you will need in your arsenal. Check them out. It's www.tb-jp.com, and on there you will also find all the clothing which they release multiple times per year, but get your hands on them quick because they are limited drops. Use the discount code MAGIC10 for money off. Help the brother out, and let's get back to the podcast. Peace. Yo.
You look like you're in a nice little boudoir.
Yes.
I've not seen the man cave, have I?
This is all that's good here, bro.
Yeah, on the other side of it, it's like
fucking nightmare, earthquake.
Have you been?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good, bro. I'm good. Just cracking on, yeah.
Are you still in the same place or new place?
Our new place just moved. Literally walked in this second ago.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, walked in. I was like, Wi-Fi shit. Right, okay, let's go.
Fair play, mate. Appreciate it.
No, it's all good.
The other boys are coming on now, but we'll just roll with it anyway.
How do you normally like? I've not really watched an episode with you guys. So
it's free flowing, but Andy texted earlier and said, about should we get some structure to it? The problem is with structure, you kind of just it feels a bit robotic, like. So I said we'll just kind of have a couple of topics maybe, and then let it flow, like.
Yeah, that's the best way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's easier, man. What's happening, Andy? You're quiet as hell, bro. I was quiet as hell then.
Is it? Can you hear me now? See, to say my mic was muted, but it's not. So
yeah, I got you now.
I'll chuck my headphones in.
Nah, I got you now, bro. It's the mic, not the headphones. But anyway, that's all right.
What's going on, man? You all good?
Good, bro. Good, you?
All good, man. I just fucking hammered legs, bro, and just like rushing to get here on time, and for once I was actually waiting and Jay was late. So
I know, mate. I thought he's so on time always. I'm gonna have to be on fucking time.
I was on time. My daughter had me fucking running around school running there, so I had to go to her friends.
I can't wait to have kids so I can just blame them for everything. That's the only reason I want. Oh, it's kids.
I know.
Kids.
She's not even here, bro. She haven't even come home.
I haven't got a daughter.
No daughter.
I've started doing it, just saying, I can't because of the kids.
Because of the kids.
I'm like, yeah.
Bro, you just got to coach yourself, and then you can just give yourself the excuse, bro. You don't even need it.
Yeah, best way. Who else is coming on?
Richie, supposedly. Have you spoke to him, and?
I haven't heard of him today, bro, if I'm honest.
JD.
It could be us three, you know.
We'll just get it going anyway, because Richie's Richie and he'll just turn up out of the blue.
Okay, we had to post a discount thing, content, so Monday at 9 a.m. I saw Richie 12:20. He's popped up online. Casual 3 hours, 20 minutes later.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I've met Richie a couple of times at the gym, like just to meet, and it was like Richie time. I was like, oh, mate, we'll get started. I was fucking. He should be black, to be fair.
Richie definitely runs on black man time. Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, when did you get back from Iceland, right?
Monday.
So, you recovered?
In a sense of like recovered from the holiday or recovered from
financially.
Oh, mate, it was honestly. If you want to prep, go to Iceland because you can't eat because it's that fucking expensive. It's great, yeah. To the point where like I don't really care that much. What is you're on holiday? Yeah. And I was like, how much? Like fucking 17 quid for a coffee. I was like, nah, I'm all right, thanks. And I still paid it, but I was fucking skint now. So we've got an offer on coaching. But yeah, my hamstring's healing up. Like first session back on Friday, just fucking rehab stuff like isometrics and partials, like no weight at all. But it's getting better. So
yeah. You and Andy are like the king of fucking injuries.
Well, have you been injured, Andy?
Yeah, what happened? How did you?
Literally just first exercise on seated hamstring curls, legs, nothing crazy, popped. Like, yeah, like nothing different. Might have been a bit colder in the gym, didn't, and it had all these things that could have been, would have, should have been. It just, yeah, it popped off and my leg just went floppy, and I was like, you know, when you instantly know, like, oh, no. Like, it like pops, like you can feel it pop, and then I went to put my foot down and I couldn't put my foot down, and I thought, no, I can't. So I had to lie down in the gym, and then I couldn't walk then for a couple of days.
Proper
Pardon?
proper
Hey, it's not actually, so you get a tear at like each end of a tendon, like each, so the muscle will like move, but it's a rupture. So it's like a different sort of tear. Like my missus was like, it can be worse. Because I was like, my leg's not that bruised. And she's like, yeah, because if it's a rupture, it doesn't bleed out, if that's such.
Right.
It'll come out eventually. It did come out like bruised, but yeah, it's getting better. I think it's just going to be building the strength back up with it. So
frustrating, isn't it?
do you know what's actually great about it? You know, I was in like the and ahhing of like, oh, competing and this and that. When something like that happens, my instant thought was like, shit, what if I can't compete? So that kind of solidified my actual.
You want to do it, yeah.
Yeah, it's until it's taken away. You don't know until it's taken away. And like, I thought,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able. What if I can't compete ever again? Like my hamstrings fucked up. You know, like straight away. And normally people would be like, if you don't want to ever do something, you'd be like, oh, thank fuck for that. I can kind of use that as an excuse.
There's your excuse. There's your kid excuse.
My straight away was like, no, I need to compete. What the fuck? So that kind of like solidified it in my head that that's what you actually want to do.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it was good. But now it's like rebuilding the fucker.
Yeah.
Happens all the time, bro. Whenever you get an injury and then you can't train how you want to. So I did my rotator cuff at the start of the year, which was quite nasty. It's just like, you never take it for granted then, like when you can train properly.
You had that same to you as well, Jay, like when you was in hospital.
Yeah, same thing, bro. That like it being taken away from you thought. I didn't get that for a while though, because obviously I made the call that I've done. But then 10 weeks later, when I was like, I was missing it more than like it being taken away, I was like, fuck, I need that back in my life. So that's what kind of got me back to it. And that's why, well, since January this year, yes, I've been going super hard, like harder than ever.
Why do you feel like harder than ever because you feel like you're on limited time, or harder than ever because you're just motivated?
Motivated. The time thing has always been for me, because I was obviously like, I was around all these like younger guys filming all their content, and then I was seeing like thinking like where they are and where I am age wise, and like, right, I haven't got as much time as these guys I'm filming. They've got like 10, 15 years on me. So I know, like, that's why my Race Against Time series was that. So the time thing's always been there, but then it was the motivation of like, you know, right, can I come back from it? So then I got back to it, and then obviously I competed, and I was able to like look, you know, I had improved from last year, even though I had that big bump in the road. And then obviously off the back of the shows, I had a few messages from certain people because of obviously who I'd beat in the shows and all that. Then JP knocked on the door with a sponsorship. So then it was just all adding to like motivation, like bricks in the wall kind of thing.
And that long term, like you're actually getting recognition for your hard work.
Recognition for it, yeah. And then realizing that what I could come back from after that stuff, and then still improve. What can I do if I just really go at it now for the next however many years? I won't say how many years, because Carla's upstairs, and if she knows, she'll fucking kill me. Hanging on the door.
Just one more year, babe. Just one
I've been
more
that for the last 2 years.
Hey,
I've got 5 left.
yeah. You just do one more. It's like when you're prepping as well. You think, oh, just one more. So we just do what? It's always Cal. To be fair, Cal's like, should you do this show? And I think I'm gonna have to swing this some way around, try to get to do this show. To be fair. But yeah, I think that comes down to, I said to one of my clients, he had an injury and an actual surgery whilst he was prepping. And I said, the way you've got to view it is like, this will be the best story. Imagine when and he went on to won his regional, did really well at British. I was like, this will be the best story that you ever tell. Because it's these bits in the actual prep that actually you remember. The show day is great, but I got my leg cut open, had surgery, and I still competed. It's like, you still get.
That's what a lot of people drive inspiration from, and they take inspiration from that, because you know it's easy to make these excuses and be weak-minded, and at the end of the day, if you can be resilient and get through it, it's like, for example, like Neil Andrews, like, you know, obviously hearing his like speech when he won the 𝘗𝘰𝘵𝘏𝑜𝘭𝑦𝑒 show, that was pretty cool, and I was like, wow, like didn't really know much about that, didn't really know too well before then, and I was like, shit, like that's fucking inspiring. So it's cool, like 100%, and definitely separates the fucking weak from the strong as well. And that's what we need in this sport, you know. To get to that top level, you have to be fucking strong-minded.
Yeah, there's going to be more and more stuff that hits you. And I always look at it like you said, it reconfirms like just how much of a savage you are when you do it. And you're like, oh, well, what am I capable of then? I'm capable of even more. So yeah, it's always to put, like, reframe it and change the perspective on it.
Yeah.
Actually, what am I kind of learn from this, and how can I use this as fuel? That's how I'm approaching it now. I'm like, right, okay, use it as fuel, like a fuck you mentality, not to anyone, to myself.
Occasionally to other people.
Yeah.
What I see as well with certain clients is when something goes wrong, there's two ways that they tackle it. I see people fall off, or people that just fucking excel and they just use that negative as a positive.
Yeah.
You know, you can really do it, man. Like with anything, like life deals you fucking shit cards at times, but you can always take that that motivation from any scenario and think, I'm not gonna let it fucking get on top of me. Because at the end of the day, you know, I say a lot to people, you know, if someone's going through a hard time, like, look, you can fall off, it's gonna make you feel fucking worse, or you can, you know, get your fucking shit together, get your head on, and you're gonna get to a fucking better spot and come out of it in a better position, you know. And
just using that moment, isn't it?
100%, bro.
100%. Have you ever seen Waterboy?
Years ago,
like tackling fuel.
No.
Tackling fuel. I think tackling fuel. Let's go. Add it to the fire and let's go.
Negative energy kind of thing, like.
Yeah, I think with the actual generation we're in now, negative stuff is obviously going to be portrayed a lot more than the positive stuff, in the sense like pushed on you. And I would say as you climb up, which is weird, as you going further and further up, the more negative you get, like negative actual comments and so on, and energy that you get. So if you can harness that and utilize it, then it's only going to be a benefit for yourself. Or like Andy just said, then you let it on top of you.
Yeah, right. How long have you been in bodybuilding now? Because it feels forever, because you were in it way before me, and then I knew you right at the start of my shit.
14 years now since my first show.
14 years. So you've seen like you've properly seen the transitions from before what it is now, like into what the monster it is now, like the industry.
Yeah, like it's crazy because I had to check myself the other day and go, what are you on about? Because I then turned into this guy that was a grumpy, like, kid in the gym doing with a fucking. But back when I started social media in 2010, obviously doing coaching, well, not coaching, but started like documenting my meals and stuff, everyone was slating me. Everyone was we was doing it earlier than everybody, and all the old guys who wasn't caught up with it was like, fucking, what are you doing? And then say, I think we were slating some TikTok guys from EP, and he's like, he's riding around in a Lambo and he's doing this, and I was like, yeah, fucking, it's stupid. And I was like, that was you though back in the day, right? They're just ahead now. They're just ahead. Yeah, they're just ahead. Do you know what I mean? They're doing TikTok, not Instagram, and they're doing YouTube, and that. So it is a massive shift, but again, it's just more of it. There's just more people doing it now. And I think you can't look at the younger guys who are doing, we all get annoyed with it, but you can't look at the younger guys doing what they're doing and making great money and making a living out of fitness and be negative towards it. Just let everybody do what they want to do.
I think if they've got something to back it up, that's where it kind of, you can respect it more easily, is if they've got something to back up, like a physique.
Yeah.
If they're a kid just
you have to fucking get big arms.
That's the thing, innit? It's like, if you got that guy and they're making all this money and they're balling out over like TikTok money, that's when it's frustrating, and you can get a bit.
Do you find it's frustrating for us because of the effort we put in and we've not got that recognition? Do you think that's why it's annoying?
I always look at it like, I always relate like the fitness and bodybuilding industry to the DJ and music industry, because there was a transition there, like where everyone used to play like vinyl and CDs, like physically, and then it transitioned into the digital era, and everyone was able to buy a laptop, and now they're not even having to mix it; they're syncing it themselves and just pressing a button and going. And I always see the fitness industry and the bodybuilding game as that now, where these kids are just, they're starting training, and 2 months later they're posting all this content about how you do this, how you do that, when they've not really got the credibility to actually back that up. That's where it's frustrating for me.
Yeah, the actual credibility, and then it's like it's false.
The stripes, like they haven't earned their stripes.
Yeah, they haven't earned them, but it's also, it's like saying, oh, how to get big arms. And like Andy said then, it's like, you haven't got big arms.
It's like me doing a video on how to get big arms. I ain't got big fucking arms, bro.
Yeah, no one's going to watch it, so don't bother doing it, bro. Like,
like me trying to put a fucking photo up on the wall and then doing a video trying to tell, like, man, I got a fucking clue, but I can probably flag it, but it's not going to go well.
But what I find as well is I'd be embarrassed personally to then be like, look at how I can put this picture up on the wall and be blagging it, but not actually be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's like even if you get some guys, I had it with a girl years ago. I wrote like wrote like a booty guide, and she fucking made however much she made off it. But I'm like, you don't actually know that, which is actually really irritating. Do you know? Because it's like you're blagging it.
And it's the typical ones that then get called out because by that Google guy, because they've edited their ass and made it bigger, and it wasn't even in the first place. And they just pull the people off for the fucking plan, getting fucking some dough.
Yeah, it's such a minefield, but I think people have to have a bit of common sense about them.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, they're making that content, but you've got to be a fucking idiot to believe it.
Yeah. That's the thing.
It's like with the coaching, yeah. It's like when you look at someone's page, like you're looking for the transformation, like a shop window, right? You're looking for the deed of trust, like, you know, the transformations, you want to see the progress, but you can see a mile off with the people that just don't have any of that to back it up. Like, I get, like, you know, everyone's got to start somewhere, but you know me from back in the day, right? I've known you for years, yeah. And back then, you know, you and Jamie, like, obviously coaching back then, you know, I was like a leech of information, and it was years and years of doing that, competing, doing the process before even, you know, try to put myself out there. And I feel guys now they are driven by money, not the actually loving the process, you know?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I had a call with the team the other day, and I was like, let's forget about revenue, let's forget about sales, let's forget about this, let's just think about service and results and giving a shit about people. Like, that's kind of it. I think it is Instagram, and it is like the way the industry's going. It's all like, scale your business 10 times your business, like fucking 20 grand months, 50 grand months, 60 grand months. Like, when did it become that?
Yeah.
It became that. And it used to be Chris Aceto on a shitty little email just so you could win like you could try and get your pro card, or you could win a show, or now it's like everybody's trying to make 60 grand a month.
Yeah.
Which that's what everyone's fell into, isn't it?
That's interesting, because obviously you boys, in terms of coaching, I would say, like, obviously, and you were doing really well with your coaching, and I know obviously you've got Yayan, but like in terms of your coaching, it's only recently you've taken someone on into your team, your coaching team. And then Rai, you've been coaching obviously however many years, 30 years. And then like you've obviously
Botox.
Yeah, Botox. Obviously you and Jamie used to coach together, but then obviously you've gone your separate ways, but then you've been able to bring your coaching to a level now where obviously, we've been obviously doing a lot of content the last couple of months, and I've seen how you've been able to scale your business to where it is where you've got multiple people working on the team, and the coaching brand is itself. So how would you say the best, for anyone listening in terms of coaching, building their brand without being focused on the revenue? Obviously the key thing is to deliver results, right? But then both your levels of coaching, where would you say the key things are to actually take that business to the levels that it's at for these like new guys coming into it?
What to actually bring on more clients and lead generation, or to
and scale, like your scaling process, because obviously there's a lot of people that are business gurus now, and you're saying this is how you scale your business to this and that, which I'm sure that most of you have obviously done like the educational and looked into it to gain that knowledge of how to scale your business, but I'm sure it's other reasons why your businesses have got to where they got to.
What me and Andy have quite a lot of conversations about business sometimes, and we've used a lot of mentors, different sort of things, and systems and things like that are great. But what it comes down to is like these mentors, when you've got like most of the gurus who mentors or whatever they call them, they know the actual route to do it, but they don't know like if anything goes wrong. Would you agree with that, Andy? Like if things are not working like how it should be working per se. Or say you take me and Andy, who's got quite big credibility in the industry. It's quite easy to scale because we've got credibility. But like if there's an actual roadblock in the actual process, they don't know the answers. They just know how to do something and they don't know the actual answer. So then you're spinning your wheels. But I'd say for scaling, for me personally, it's more about the reason that you'd want to think about scaling is to help more people. Because then as your service starts to diminish, so say you've got 100 clients, your service is going to be shit. So I'd rather take on 50 clients and give Tom per se 50 clients and him be able to deliver the same level of service that I do and get the same results with 100, 200, 300 people than just me being stuck at 100. That's how I view it.
Because it becomes a roadblock in the business where, you know, you need to look at, obviously, if we're looking at business further down the line, obviously, yes, you know, service results, everything's super important, but it gets to a point where if a coach is taking on more and more than they can chew, like you said, the service gets watered down. So again, that comes a point then where the price point needs to go up. So the client cap can be maintained and the revenue can still be grown. But then it comes to a point, like Ryan said, like, I'd agree, where you need to think about taking someone else on within the business to then grow the business further. And it's, I think in terms of like the coaching, yes, we're always concerned about results is the main thing, delivering that service, but it comes to a point where, you know, you do want to actually make a brand and a community and a business and be known for that. And it's like, you see some of the coaches that have, like Callum, for example, pro coach, big team. There's a lot more, I think, that meets the eye that goes on to that. I know he will have like managers and people like you said. I think you've got a manager, Ryan.
Yeah, I've got a few team. Like what it is I try to look at how slow are we moving through the business. So if I've got a list of 10 things to do, like if I've got someone who's going to be able to come into that place and do that for me, I can then really go into what I'm good at. So like I can be the one who's leading from the front in the sense of like my physique, my goals, doing that, inspiring people, as cliche as that sounds. But then got like somebody who's going to do graphic design and somebody who's going to do emails and somebody, because that I'm wasted in that field. Do you know what I mean?
You need, and this is where we're having a lot of chats with people as well about, you need to invest. You can't be scared to invest. You have to put money back in to work on the business and grow the business.
Yeah, that's one biggest thing is like I've learned is working on the business, not in the business. So being like so stuck in the mud with 100 clients that the education side of things for webinars or free resources or everything else, the clients aren't getting that because I'm so busy doing check-ins. And it's like, if then I can get Tom is actually better than me at lifestyle clients, again, because you have to pick team members that are great at what they do, if not better than you. Because I've not been a lifestyle client or had a normal day.
On. You were a party boy at one point.
Yeah, but I'm saying
like 2 weeks ago.
No, but I'm saying like I've not had a normal job or like a 9 to 5 or like I've not done that in a sense.
In that world, like of
some of the problems and the issues that people have, I don't realize.
You can't, I get you.
So you can't relate to it, kind of thing, yeah.
Oh, like Tom's got kids, Tom's got his own business, gym, and he's got to work, and he's like doing it. I think I didn't even think of that. Oh shit, yeah, that's a problem, isn't it, for them? He's already got that in his head because he can relate to it. So he's better at lifestyle than I am, and I think that's you'll probably have that as well, Andy. Bringing team members in that fit the roles, maybe not better than you, but as good as you can do them, is probably the hardest bit of scaling.
I was going to say it's just then. I actually have been having thoughts about trying to bring someone else on. But my biggest issue is, bro, like I pride myself on delivering such a good level of service. And it's hard with us, bro, because if you bring someone in, it's like you need the right person, bro. It's like what you just said there, basically. You need the right person because it's easy to reflect badly on the business, you know, and then you might end up picking up extra in its headache. You don't want that. So again, I think knowing who you're bringing on and trusting them, and that's one of the best things if you're picking someone. I think with me, it's just, that's what I'm fucking scared of, man. I think getting someone on, like, fuck, do you know what I mean? You need to know that person inside out and like trust them to do a good job, you know, because at the end of the day, like we're changing lives at the end of the day, and we're either doing a fucking good job or not doing a fucking good job. And because it's important, bro, that the service and the job is done correctly. So I think that's a very good point. You know, if someone's thinking of taking a team member on, you know, you need to be making sure that you're taking the right person on, like you said there, 100%.
You also want to trust them that they're not going to fucking take a load of clients and go and do their own thing.
Not what about. Not what about. Awkward. No, yeah, that's the biggest thing that in the coaching industry for scaling, and this is where, as you just said, Andy, taking somebody else on, I'm trying to find that fit. So how does it work where you can salary them? Does it work on percentages? Does it work on? There's also a different. I think it's going to be a trial and error thing, which is a fucking costly trial and error, and it's like until you get that right. But what I would say on like the management side of things, what was great for me was I look at it like an hierarchy. So like if you're at the top, I just want to deal with one person that then deals with 5 people. So that having that middle person in between stops you being really busy in a sense of being a busy idiot. So like if they're dealing with all the team members and I just deal with them, they relay everything back to me. I tell them what they need to do and they relay it to everybody else. And that position there is a game changer because it just buys so much time back. Because if you're going to a sales team and to this person and that person, another coach, you're busy all day trying to just deal with people. Whereas if that person's job, the manager, is managing people, it just allows you to be who that do what you need to do, rather than going to 5 different people.
And I think like with some of the mentorships we've done, they're great for scaling because, you know, we're learning about like putting contracts in place and like things we probably didn't think about or know about. And I think that's great. But when it comes to like managing people as well, bro, like that's another level. So like having that manager in place is really, really good.
I try to look at it as like, I am a bodybuilder and a coach. Let's face it, I'm not a CEO and I'm not a fucking like I don't know how to manage people. So bring somebody in that can get them to work at the best possible, and I can be the person that obviously is the vision, and it sounds, but I'm like, what are we trying to achieve? And then I can like relay that to everybody, lead by example, and then that person can do all the nitty gritty, mithering shit that I don't want to do.
You're delegating, innit?
Yeah, that I'm not good at, because you then get to a point where like it's organization and they need to organize everybody and then relay it back to me and I just tell them what they need to do, which is that's like further down the line. But yeah, I think that whole 10 grand a month thing is, I don't know, it's just done. Like everybody, it's quite easy to get to 10 grand a month on coaching, but it's like, what do you then do with that 10 grand?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're like, okay, you've got 10 grand set in your bank, great, that's a great wage, but then it's like you're trying to buy back time then. That's what I find. Okay. Because you can either create yourself a busy job or you can create yourself a business where it's not just you.
Yeah.
So it's good though. It's like, it is good. I would say some mentorships are decent, but just be mindful of who you pay. You pay a lot of money to for
I've just sent a lad to Jace now. And he's someone that I think for someone coming in is a great mentor, but then you've got obviously like we've worked with Ben Hawksworth, like his team are really, really good. And I think for like when you've got a business already and scaling it more, that was great for us. But I think like actually mentoring people is something that I have thought about as well. But like again, bro, it's just like you just said then, more time, like, you know, systems in place for it. You need to do it properly, bro. You can't just take someone's money and pop them off. And I think with this industry, bro, there's a lot of that fucking happening. Oh, I was with this coach, he didn't fucking do my check-in, he hasn't got back to me. That you know, it's the same with the mentoring world. I can imagine, bro, a lot of people are trying to make some coin. And yeah, it's just, I guess, being savvy and vetting who you work with again, I guess. But
yeah, you just have to I'd really do your research on who you work with, because there's a lot of people, you pay them a lot of money and then they just go and that's the thing, once it's done, you can't really get your money back, because they have delivered on what they said they're going to deliver, but it's not right. It doesn't make you any more fucking money.
Yeah, I've had like so many messages and this like over the years about like mentorship with videography and photography and how I build Magic Eye, and I, hand on heart, I still don't feel comfortable sitting down and taking someone's money to advise them on how to do that, because if I'm being completely honest, I don't know how I've done it. I've just fucking grafted and winged it and it's got to where it is.
Yeah.
Like someone like RGL Gus, I don't know if you remember RGL. Like Gus is obviously doing his videography thing, and me and Gus were tight at one point, and seeing how he's doing it, I think like in terms of like where he got to in the industry, I reckon I've got to the same level in terms of where he got to, but still I couldn't step out into that lane at all. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it anyway.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, do you remember, Jay, when I said to you, bro, have you thought about teaching people how to do videography?
Yeah.
Because I bought a camera, didn't I? And I was like, I'll fucking sign up, man. That's why obviously, like, again, talking about time, I pay Jay for content like you do as well, Ryan, because it frees up time for us. You know, but I do think, bro, that's I do still think that's a good idea. It could be, but again, it's bro, like we just had then, you know, someone wants to come to me for mentoring. Yes, I've fucking done it myself, but haven't got all the systems in place and feel confident to actually take them through that process.
That's it.
It comes down to being an educator as well.
Yeah.
Like some people, like let's just use like 𝘗𝘳𝘰𝘨𝘭𝘺, for example. Very, very good educator. Can educate, he can teach very well. Whereas like I'm not a great teacher per se. I can tell you and educate you on bodybuilding, but like I can put it, I'm really good at putting it in layman's terms. But when it comes to like, okay, I'm going to build out a platform, I'm going to build out system, it's a lot, and it has to be right because the people are paying you a lot of money. So I think it's good. It would take a good 2 years to get it all perfect, and it's just putting that time into it. But when you've got coaching and everything else, it's so difficult, isn't it, to manage that.
I think like obviously you coach, Jay coaches as well, and I think a lot of people think that it's okay for them, like they're cushy, you know, but bro, like you boys know it yourself, you don't get a fucking day off, mate.
No.
Yeah, I always thought, oh, it don't matter though, because I don't feel like I'm working. But then sometimes
you do get burnout.
Yeah, you 100% get burnout. Yeah, like I don't know how you, Jay, you literally work like a dog. Like I think probably because you've got kids, so you need to. But we're like, oh fucking hell, Jay's like, oh yeah, let's do another shoot, another 2 shoots in the prep and another business and another business.
Throw all that on top.
You know how he drives so many miles because I went to Manchester last week and I swear I'm still fucking tired now, boys, from that because I got back and I had a bit of work to do on the computer, but I'm like, this guy's not even training it. He's in the car.
I know.
Doing the work, then he's got to edit the stuff. He's coaching some clients too. I'm like, traveling fucks me. It absolutely works me.
It is brutal, man. It is brutal, but it's one of those things, and it's like I'm conditioned to it. I've done it so long. I'm literally conditioned to sitting in that fucking seat for 9 hours and then having to look at one of your faces for 3 hours filming. But it's just a condition thing. It's like the sleep thing, you know, from the DJing years. I'm conditioned to not have, if I need to go on 2 or 3 hours kip, I can do it because I'm conditioned to do it from the DJing years. It's not great, obviously, but it is what it is. I can do it if I need to switch it on, like. But that's needless to say that the driving is fucking getting to me.
How will you cut it back on prep? No, you just keep going.
I keep going until 4 days out.
Well, I was gonna say 4 weeks.
No, 4 days.
4 days out, maybe 4 hours out. I might not drive to like
4 days out, man. There's still fucking people living in this house that need to be looked after, like, so you know, I'm never gonna put that prep or whatever in front of those people, like, so yeah, I'll shoot until 4 days out, and then I'll use peak week then the last 3 days of that. Feet up, editing, chilling, get my meals in and all that, and then it'll be obviously 1 day out or whatever by that point.
Andy, how do you find when you're on the back end of a prep, like coaching?
Well, do you know what? I actually find it fine. I find very productive for a prep. Like, and to be honest, like, I had a call with a guy in Australia this morning, like a consult, and that was one of the things he said. He said, "Bro, my coach at the minute is prepping, and like he's been like 2-3 day replies, and he's just like putting it on me to say, bro, I'm fucking busy. Like, I'm doing a prep," and I'm like, to be fair, like, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion, bro. If I'm paying for a service, I want the service delivered. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. And like, that's my mindset, bro. So I don't allow myself to like try and like, it's funny because I just watched Christian Chapman's story on Instagram just now, and he put a story up about taking some time off over Christmas. And he then said, I've had a lot of messages, did like a story talking, saying like, bro, like, I'm allowed 7 days off a fucking year. But I always have the mindset, and I've been in that mindset where people are paying for a monthly service, I'm on holiday with my missus, I'm still doing my check-ins. So I think, but it does lead to burnout. And I think you always think yourself, oh, will they understand? But I think, I think I'm going to take some time off over Christmas this year. And I think it's important. And the clients need to understand that for us to be at our best, we need to take that time.
Take that time. Yeah, I always struggle with that because I think to myself, well, they're going to think, well, I'm paying you, like you say.
Yeah.
And like, not that we don't deserve downtime, but because it's like just on your phone and you're just answering WhatsApps, but they don't realize, I did it on the podcast the other day, like they don't realize the brain power to do that. And they don't realize how many conversations you have a day.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of thought to go, oh yeah, do this, mate. Yeah, do that, mate. Yeah, do that. And sometimes you want to have, like you say, because that's your job, you do need that time where it's like, I don't go on that phone and I can just be present. Yeah, so it is difficult to take time away, like, but
I get
think,
mad anxiety from it.
mad. Yeah. I got to a point where when it's like shows and it's British finals and things, I know the lads are going to be waking up at 4 to do the check-ins. And I'm like, fuck. So I'll set my alarm and I'm like, I've got to get up, like, because they're going to be waiting. Because I know what it feels like to be sat there waiting for my update. So I'm like, oh, fuck. And then you like,
I find that hard. I like to not let them wait. I want to be on their check-in ASAP, so they're chilled, they're collected, like calm. They've got direction. I think, it's because like we hold such high standards.
Yeah, true.
And
what's your plans for shows and that? And are you competing this year? Well, 2025.
Yeah, definitely 100%. I'm looking at the back end of the year, bro. So I'm actually going to run my bloods this week now. With Atlas, so Holly's sending me out like a full kit, have a look at what's going on, and then I've actually mapped the timeline out already.
You're prepping yourself, you think?
I want to make more progress. I'm really enjoying like coaching myself at the minute and like off season. If I can, I'll see how long I can push this phase for. And I have mapped out some dates, but it'll be back end of the year next year.
You think you're enjoying coaching yourself?
Well, I'm really enjoying it, man, I'll be honest.
Are you doing anything different than you've done in the past with any other coaches?
Not really, bro. Not really. But in terms of the only difference that's been this time is where I had that bit of an issue with like blood glucose at the start of the year, I resolved that because I was just basically, in theory, I was basically carb backloading, bro, eating my first meal too late. And that, you know, when you're in prep and you're dieting and you like push first meal out, I kind of fucking had that all through. I'm a very routine person, bro. I get in a fucking routine and the routine sticks. Like I work best in a fucking solid routine. I think that's why I enjoy bodybuilding so much, because I can have a fucking set routine, meals at the same time, train same time, all that shit. So now I've sorted that out, bro. Like things that it's the best I've ever been composition wise in an off season. Usually I'm like, fuck, why am I getting like softer? And it was we're looking at HbA1c and I'm thinking, I remember tracking it with Carl, like, and it was creeping up, bro. And then I've just done this diet, I'm lean, and I'm like, I was like, how the fuck's that where it is? So when I actually dived down on that and then used the continual monitor, just adjusting my meal timings, bro, and like I seem to be progressing really fucking well. It's the most food I've realistically been on stage this composition. So I just want to, what I'll do with myself now is continue this push for as long as I can, but I'm going to keep it in a place where I know I can be like with a little pullback, like a mini cut, like nice and lean, and it puts me in such a good place to start prep.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can push myself through a prep. I don't know if I'd love to do it. I'd love to coach myself and say I've coached myself for a show. But I always think in my head, like, you know, when you're like 4 weeks out and you're thinking, fuck, like, and you need that, you know.
The accountability, you know.
Yeah.
It's not, it's really, I think with people like ourselves, it's not really accountability. It's more to pull you back. Because we will always look to, like, I prep myself for my pro card, and looking back, I fucking killed myself for no apparent reason. In the mindset of like, oh, I need to earn it. I'm going to do more than everybody else. I'm going to work harder. I can eat less. I don't get, and you make emotional decisions. So then it's erratic. Like I remember waking up the morning of the show and being like, I'm holding water. I couldn't see it. Like in my head, I was like, so I remember texting Zach, you know, from Pro Coach. And I was like, have you got any more Diazide? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I went, met him, drove, met him, got in just for another quarter Diazide, because I was like, fucking hell, I'm not dry enough. Looking back, I was dry enough. But you just end up doing.
And I watch like John Drew when he does it, and I'm like, man, like, how does he do such a good job? But I would love to try it. It'd be a hell of a challenge.
It is to get yourself to, for my personal experience, to get yourself to 6 weeks out, 4 weeks out, easy. It's when your cognitivity starts going, you start seeing, I think as well, like the visual changes from say 12 weeks out to 6 weeks out or whatever, you can see them. But like them smaller details at 4 weeks out, whereas a little line here and a little line there.
I think you probably need someone for the back end, really.
Yeah.
But then I think, go on, sorry.
Go on.
I think to myself, well, if I'm going to give them the back end, they may as well do it all.
Yeah. The only thing I'm doing differently though is using EQ. That's the only thing. I know you're a fan of that, right? Because we talk about it, but that's the only thing I've done differently. So it's going to be really interesting to pull my blood work now and see what's going on. But I've been monitoring like blood pressure, everything's absolutely sweet. So be interesting. The only thing I found with that is obviously I had the gyno surgery like a few years back. With having that in, it feels like it's absolutely killing my E2. That's the only thing I'm feeling.
You see, pulling it right down.
Killing it, yeah. Like,
what are you? If you don't, well, it's okay, it is what it is. But what are you running like test wise?
500.
Yeah. So and then that what are you running your EQ at?
It's only 400, bro. So it's low. Realistically, I don't really want to push it more than that, but I want to see the blood work now and see what's going on because I always used to struggle, bro, with estrogen. Obviously, aromatizing quite a lot from the gyno puberty, bro. So you know, to be like the last time I run the blood work, it's the lowest I've seen my estrogen with not using. I don't use any AIs, but I don't need them. Obviously, I would use them if I needed them, but it's going to be really interesting to see. But I remember because with EQ, bro, like I was quite wary about using it because I know it does aromatize, but I know JP says like on some of the stories I've seen it kills his E2, and that's what I'm feeling. I'm actually feeling that's going to be really interesting to look and then see. And I think again, bro, like what a lot of people don't do is they're scared to run blood work. Like fucking have a look, see what's going on. You know?
Yeah. I run it like pretty much every 6 weeks in a sense of a hormone panel. If I'm like right, I'll do it like 4 weeks within a cycle. I'll run it and see right what's this actually giving me? Where's my test at? Where's my estrogen at? Where's my prolactin at? Because then I don't need all my other health markers because I'm like, well, I know they're going to be a little bit skewed. And then at like the 10-week mark, I'll probably run a full panel. But I think collecting that data of like, okay, it's the same with I'm running GH now. I'm going to have to run T4. Well, do you? Or do you need to test your thyroid and see where it's at?
Have a look, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned over the past few years is collect the data from it and then actually don't just sporadic think, I'll probably just shove that in just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
But I understand as well, like, I guess, like, we're fortunate that, you know, we have our blood work covered and stuff like that, but then I get with people that it's a huge expense, man. Obviously, all the health supplements, running the blood work, like, it's a fucking very expensive gig, you know? And I get that as well, but you know, I get it all the time, bro. My sex drive's not good. I'm like, run your bloods. Let's have a look. Like, can't just start chucking shit in. Like, do you know what I mean? Let's see what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Do they do it though? Do they get their bloods done?
Yeah, if it's a client of mine, I'll make them do it. Otherwise, I'm like, well, do you know what I mean?
It is as a coach, and it is guesswork. You're literally just guessing, thinking, I think that'll work. Oh, that didn't work. Right? What? I think that'll work. And it's like, well, no, actually get the blood work and see. And that's the problem. That's the issue. Correct it. Yeah. And I think I like as well when I'm running a cycle to actually know what that cycle is doing.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why it's going to be really interesting to.
Have you used the DHB EQ?
No, I looked into it, bro. It's something I was actually considering. I remember speaking to Cal about this when I was still working with Cal.
Yeah, I ran it for a while. It was okay. Just the pip, like the pip was fucking absolutely horrendous. So I just couldn't keep it up. It was driving.
Like using like the exotic, we'll call them exotic, because it's everyone just uses DHT and test these days. But I know you're a bit old school in the sense like, you know, you like using the other sort of compounds. But that's one of the ones that I was doing a bit of research into and reading about.
Yeah, I think like 200 to 300 milligrams is decent. It is like running it any higher than that, you're gonna be fucking painful. You just literally can't move your arms. But and then sometimes it's a trade-off. The problem I've got with the DHTs is like when you're trying to control estrogen with Primo, it's like is it real? And then you get into a mindset of like, say, like, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? And then I look at some people saying, oh, well, you can run Primo at like 300, 400 meg. Sometimes I'd just like to just rather take aromasin because I'm like, I'd rather run Masteron and I get a little bit of raise of estrogen. I'd just take a little bit of aromasin than jab in 4 mil of another compound.
Yeah. Be a bit cheaper as well.
Yeah, I just think you know what you're gonna get. So you like you kind of it's safe proof.
That's the only problem with getting a legit source. I know like Mitch on prep this year had a little flare up, and he was like, when I spoke to him about it, he went and got his blood done, and I said, have you changed anything? He said, oh shit, yeah, I've just changed the Primo. And I said, sounds like you're using fake Primo, bro. You just had this flare up, and that's what
I had it. Yeah. I think probably 800 make of Primo, and none of it was Primo. I was like, what the fuck? I'm watery as fuck.
Did you find out what it was?
No, I'm sure it was test. So I was just on a load of test. I was just like, great.
My cheeks are so puffy, bro.
Yeah, I was like, I'm putting some size on here, but I'm fucking watery as hell, and I got fucking bitched here. Like, Jesus Christ, got my bloods, and it was like, yeah, you're estrogen.
Bro, you know, sometimes I have a dream that I've got gyno again, and I have this random dream, bro, that I grab it and I can feel the lump, and I'm like, yo, what the bro?
What is that? The dream?
That's the dream, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh,
now my titties are fine. Oh no, yeah, that's classic.
Your missus looking at you by the side of you, and you just fucking shaking.
Yeah, just fucking hell, baby. What's he thinking about?
I'll say, and I've had a lot of conversations with people about this, because I remember at the time I was putting it out there about the surgery, bro. It was the best thing I ever did, man. Like,
yeah, I know if you had
that, bro, was trying to control it. It gets inflamed, gets puffy, then you get it down. Like, fuck that shit.
What did it? How much did it cost? That it's like free.
I paid $4.5 grand for that.
Yeah. But so for guys who are competing at a decent level, it's a must, really, isn't it? If it's
amazing, man. I remember like I went in this place and I seen a dude walking out with the bag. They give him a bag with some of the straps and that in and shit or whatever, the compression. And he was like, "Good luck, mate." And I was like, "Oh, fuck you know." And I've gone in there and I've had like this like pre-op chat with the surgeon, and I'm like going to the nurses, "Yo, I'm shitting myself. Like, I'm really." They're like, "You're a huge guy. Like, you should be fine." I'm like, "Nah, honestly, I don't know. I'm fucking petrified, bro." The nurses were like holding my hands, bro, on the thing, and I was like,
"He will do anything for female attention."
Bro, I couldn't see anything, but you can just smell this like fucking.
Are you awake while they do it?
Yeah, awake, bro. So you go in the room, they've like cleaned you out, like whatever. You're in the gowns and shit, and you go in the room, bro, and it's like the bed is like it looks like a cross, bro, because your arms are out because of the chest.
Oh shit, yeah.
Strapped down.
They've come it. The nurses prepare you before the surgeon comes in, so you've got like you can't see anything, bro. They put this thing over, and they put like iodine on you and shit. And he comes in, bro, and I remember like looking. He's come in, and I didn't even have 2 seconds to think. Before I even knew it, I couldn't feel anything. He puts he puts the anesthetic in, and before I knew it, he was putting that in. So I was like, "Oh fuck, it started. Like, there's no going back." Before I knew it, my chest was open, bro, and I'm like thinking, "Is he?" And I'm hearing the scissors going out. I'm like, "What the fuck? He's open." Yeah, then you can just smell this burning because they cauterize it. Is that what you call it when they
cauterize? Yeah.
Oh mate, it smelled horrendous, man.
Oh fucking
flesh. He dropped the scalpel and it landed on my chest. I thought, fuck, I felt that, felt heavy. And the second side, I could actually start to feel the burning, so you had to put more anesthetic in. But it lasted like, honestly, like 40 minutes, and it wasn't that bad at all. It's a horrible thing to think about. But I remember like when they bandaged me up, I stood up and he said, "Look at your chest." I looked down and I couldn't even see my nipples. I was like, wow, that's insane. So it was worth it, you know. It's not. I wouldn't like discourage anyone from doing it. I would say like it's one of the best things I ever did. I just wish I did it sooner. You know? I
think, right, you said like anyone competing at like a decent level to have it done. I think even if I wasn't competing and I had that, like it was if I was so self-conscious about it, I'd still probably get it done.
I was thinking like you could, if you're not competing, like, and you're not going to be using loads of gear, it's probably not going to flare up massively. But if you are, you're kind of limiting yourself on what you can use. Like, probably you found that, Andy, you'll give us more insight into it, but you'll find like you had to limit yourself with gear to what you could actually run, how much you could run, what sort of cycle you could set up, because obviously the flare-ups, innit?
Yeah, and I think that's something I've been even more cautious about after. I remember on my last prep with Cal, we put some training at 50 meg, and I had to take it out, bro, because I was getting like issues with that. And I was like, you're right, maybe I just can't use any like, 19 nors or like anything with like progesterone, flare up. Like, okay, maybe I just can't do it. So we didn't even use that for last prep. Because I'm at that point, bro, I am not going to fucking risk getting it again. Like, fuck no. I don't want to go and do the op again, to be honest. So I'll do it again if I got it, but I'll just rather not,
Yeah.
And I don't really want to be blasting cable all the time, like, because it just makes you feel like shit.
And that's the thing as well. You're adding more drugs in to bring that down and compensate that. It becomes a minefield then, doesn't it?
Thing is, half the Valley boys that have blasted their fucking cycles over the years, they've all got gyno anyway, regardless of pulling back and
yeah. And like I think back then, like what was actually happening, like, you don't really mind so much, like you got it anyway, you're trying to manage it as best you can. But every little flare you get, it does get that little bit worse.
Yeah.
Even if you start to manage it.
Could you see it on stage, Andy? I never noticed it, but
you could never really notice it, bro, right? And
Nah.
you wouldn't probably notice it because I was very cautious with what I posted. But as soon as I put my hand above, then on the right side was the worst. You could see it. But Jay, do you remember I sent you the picture after the operation?
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember sending you that. So when someone asked me to have a conversation, I'm like, I go show them the picture. I just go to our chat and look in the media, and I'm like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was just, I think again, bro, it was just confidence. It was effective. And on that last prep, I was prepping and I actually pulled it. So I did I was doing some YouTubes with you at the time, Jay.
Yeah.
Giving the YouTube a crack. And we pulled it like on that prep. I was like, right, because I've actually pulled it on a prep now, I can't pussy out. I've got to get the op done. I just booked it and said to the surgeon, book me the fucking earliest date you have. So I knew I couldn't back out.
Yeah. I saw a massive difference in like your level of confidence after you got it done though.
Oh, bro, I remember like even like if you're out like and you're taking a photo, I'd be like thinking, fuck, my nipples ain't puffy, like giving them a rub like before. Do you know what I mean?
Really, that
like, got that right now.
Yeah.
Man. You know, like that used to be automatic, bro, in my head. But I don't even think about it now.
Yeah.
And yes, you couldn't, it wasn't noticeable because I got my chest is quite like developed well, so it kind of hit it, but as soon as you get lean and then go above, it's like, yeah, you can see it, man.
Yeah.
That's good though. I've never really had any issues with like gyno, like touch wood, so thank fuck for that.
I don't think like sides. Yeah, some people just don't get sides, and I'd say right, you're like, you know, when there's some people that just don't really get like visual sides anyway, you know, like the usuals, the guy knows the bad skin and all that stuff. You're always fucking like your skin, right, is like blemish free.
No,
you know what I mean?
This is gonna sound stupid. I've never really ran. I know people don't believe me. I've only ran like a few big cycles because I fucking hate jabbing. So then I'll be like, I'm planning out that I'm gonna run 2 grand, fucking smash it. And then the only time I run like a big cycle is like prep. Because it's the only time I ever stay like really consistent with my gear. But I don't really get like side effects like you say with skin and stuff. But I know the guys I've seen that do that are normally the guys, it all correlates to it, like hygiene and fucking knock-on effect.
Yeah, there's other things going on that they could be addressing in it,
Yeah, they could be. But yeah, I've never really had like bad, like you say, bad skin or gyno or anything like that. So
yeah. And I think with you saying that as well, like I'm in the same boat as that, and I'm very conscious about blood work and keeping my health good, man, because I want a life after this, bro. And I've already set myself like a limit in my head of where I'll probably be knocking it on the head. And yeah, man, I think, you know, just at the end of the day, man, this is what we love. It's our passion, bro. Like we've done this before there was a fucking Instagram, before there was any of it. But at the end of the day, we still want to be as healthy as possible. You know, we're not reckless, bro. And I think you see, like, you'll know this when you always get guys coming on and you're just thinking, you know, you've always had that, or we've always had one of those clients where you look at they tell you what they're taking, you're like, what the fuck? I don't even look like you fucking lift, bro.
Yeah.
I've had some mad guy, and I think that's where either ill education or just addictive personalities or more is better. And it's almost used that like amount of gear as a crutch, or even like, not to bash JP, but even like looking at JP.
How dare you?
A fan.
Magic 10, quick, get it in.
Magic 10.
But yeah, but when they read like JP's using 5 gram, and it's like, okay, so I'll use a gram, and it's like, fucking hell, bro. You don't need a gram of gear, trust me.
Yeah.
Like people, I'm gonna cruise on 500-600 meg. You're like, sorry, like what are you doing? Like that's a cycle for most people.
Yeah, it's actually funny because I've been working with this guy from Norfolk, bro. He's got a hell of a potential, mate. He's a young kid, and he came to me like he never had a coach before, and he was using. So I'm like, right, let's just get some blood work done and taper this back a little bit. And I said, right, we're actually just like running the phases. We've got to run into health phases. He goes, bro, I thought it wasn't a health phase. I said, bro, like look at the progress you've made. Like it's fucking nuts. Like I think he's like 8 kilos up, bro. Lean as fuck still. I'm like, bro, like trust me, less is more, bro. You do not need to be doing any more of this.
Yeah,
oh, shit. I thought we was going on to the blast. I was like, nah, bro.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? How people like again, it's that whole more is better. Like, let's take more just for the sake of taking more.
Right, you know when we oh, go on, and
no, go on.
when I shot with you last, without saying names, when we were at the gym with Tom and the other guy, can't remember his name, sorry, forgive me. And we were talking in reception, and you were saying about that guy that Tom was talking to in the gym, that his coach had him on like this mad cycle for prep, and then they were going straight into off season, and it was like crazy numbers.
Like, yeah, it is absolutely like just like negligence, if you will, because it was more like, not to name names, but at the back end, he didn't want to coach the guy through his rebound, so he was like, let's just stay on. And you know, you see it like when it's like, let's just stay on and we're just gonna get, and then he's like, let's up it. And I'm thinking, this is the worst time to be blasting gear and to be in the worst place. And he's like, I said to him, just say, I don't obviously want to step on your toes, but just ask him when you're gonna get blood work. And he's like, oh, we'll get blood work like 10 weeks. Sorry. Like, you're gonna get blood work in 10 weeks' time after all this. Like, he said, if you're starting to feel a little bit toxic, let me know. I'm like, people have got cancer and don't know they've got it. Like, what the fuck are you like? If the metric is if you feel toxic, what the fuck?
Wasn't it like 40 plus weeks of like on?
He'd been on 36 weeks and he wanted to do another 8 weeks.
That's mad, isn't it?
Do the year, bro. Fuck it, man. Just
don't come off.
Yeah.
Just stay on, blast. 12 months.
Scary.
Some people do that, don't it?
I've seen some people, but then I've seen people like blasting. I've seen pros like when I've spoke to them, and they've been blasting for like the year, but will never change. Like, just keep the test at like say 800 to 900, and then just interchange like Masteron into EQ to this to that. Never really have time off. But again, I just think to myself like, I don't understand it. I don't like one. I hate. Two, it's like, I suppose it's just depends on where you want to take it, but yeah, I don't understand like blasting a gram of test for 12 months.
That long is crazy. Like, our plan for prep next year, Carl wants me to do a little bit of a blast into a prep, which is something I've never done before. So even now I'm looking at that, where it's going to be like an 8 to 10 week push, then into a prep, which is going to be what, 16. So that's
what's the reason. So what's the reason for that?
We're gonna push now till end of Jan. So that'll be like 15, 16 weeks of like proper like push. 8 to 10 weeks health phase.
Yeah.
Then 6 to 8 weeks back into a push after the health phase, and then come down into prep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's to be fair though, I've done preps where they've been 25, 26 weeks.
Yeah.
The reality of it is that's the same thing.
Yeah.
But like that blast, that push up and then coming down into prep.
Yeah, it's just going to give us that time because of the timeline that I obviously want to compete on. That's the best way of doing it. Otherwise, it's going to be like I'm not going to be able to compete that late or hold on for that late if I go into prep 8 weeks after that health phase. Like, so
when are you thinking about competing?
Start prep June 1st and then back end of the show. So it'll be like September, October, November, like now, like that. Potentially that big man weekend.
I looked at that then yesterday and I was like, oh, sick. Like, because there's a run of good shows.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's like Denmark and there's some like quite close to us.
Yeah.
And like Amsterdam and like European shows, which are still decent shows, but like the back end of the year.
Yeah.
It sets you up nicely as well for like like that downtime. Then it's like right
exactly, man.
Off the year. So yeah, that'd be good. Are you going to do some internationals then?
Yeah. So the plan is to do 2 bros PCA UK regionals, the finals in both. So that'd be 4. I want to do the Euromasters in Italy in Milan, which was going to be like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then if my body can handle it, a Spain show with Emilio. So I'm guessing that would be big man weekend.
Yeah, the Emilio shows, like I did the Alicante one and ran so well. And do you know what it is as well is the crowd. Like I didn't know that. Have you been to one of the Alicante shows?
So many times, yeah.
That VP space, isn't it? It's sick.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well is like they fucking love. Like I've never seen it at a show where the actual crowd was queued around the building to get in. And
Yeah,
it's
they
like
love it.
the crowd absolutely like die-hard bodybuilding fans, which is fucking sick because to actually compete at them shows, like they don't know who I was, and they're cheering like mad for you just because you're on stage.
It's more of a spectacle, isn't it? That those shows, they're actually a big spectacle and an actual big show.
That's why I wanted to do the Dubai. It's too soon for me now, but like doing the sort of Dubai shows and things like that, that's kind of the thing with them, isn't it? Like the great shows.
Yeah.
We've all been to some shows and you think, what the fuck am I doing here? Like,
yeah. What's your plan then? If we're going to be looking back end of the year as well?
Yeah, I'll be competing September. So I've got a push up now, December, January, February, March.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do though is, what I've noticed with a lot of guys is the health phase with cruising. So you can still take off body fat and not need a lot of gear.
100%.
Like we don't need a massive amount of gear to hold on to muscle. So then it'll be like in the cruise phase per se, I'll start the prep just by tidying things up, and then to the back end, add gear back into the back end of it.
Yeah.
So the health phase will be, I hate to use these terminologies like priming, but it'll be a priming phase where we're just adding cardio in, reduce a bit of calories, up in steps, and that then get into a really lean body composition, and then be like prep per se.
Yeah.
With that approach, bro, realistically, if you're, let's call it pre-prep phase, health phase, if you can diet like hard through that, you can actually wipe your calories up at the start of prep, and then with obviously anabolics, like have a fucking very good setup for a prep, like realistically.
Yeah. Because I think after a good, like for me, 20 weeks of pushing up is kind of where I'm like, I'm fucking sick of this now.
Yeah. And this year when I did that, so I had that like 7-month push up post prep. It was broken up into different phases, but then I went away and dieted down this summer, and I had like a holiday with and stuff, and the whole diet I did was like through like health phase, bro. It was fucking awesome, man. I really enjoyed it, bro. Like I wasn't thinking like, oh, the looks thing. I was super lean then to push back up, bro. So it's fucking spot.
This is the thing, you're super lean and super, like, so I'll do this now with my clients. It's like if we're mapping out 12 months, it'll be like 20 week, 16 to 20 week push-up phase, 8 to 10 week health phase, but a diet in that health phase.
It makes so much sense, bro. Like the other thing is, what's gonna happen, bro, is if you come down to like, you know, your TRT dose, whatever, and your food's still high, realistically, bro, you're only getting softer in that phase anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes sense to tidy up and get more responsive to, you know, either hit the next push or prep, you know?
I've just done it with Tom, who works for me. Like I pushed him up 40 pounds, and then he's done like an 8-week like health phase, but we pulled off 20. So he's net 20, but really fucking lean. And then he'll go back up, push up for another 16, 20, but then he'll go over that and be even leaner. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be like a 50 pound up, but in such better body composition.
Yeah, Tom looks great, man.
Yeah, it looks good. And I think for me personally, and for like athletes as well, having them phases, it gives you something new. So when you are like going into a health phase and you're thinking, fucking hell, like, oh, gonna be a bit.
It gives you another goal, bro.
It gives you that short-term goal where you're like, okay, well, I can start doing cardio and I can start eating a bit less, and it freshens it up, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you know, if you are in off season and then doing your health phase and staying on like super high food, like you said, like, bro, you get sick of it, man. You need that, you know, that change up. It gives you, you know, a gateway to push up again.
Yeah.
You know, we all know that if you continue pushing food, there's going to be a time where your body needs a break, man. Like, and you need to pull calories down.
Yeah, because I have this with people that are like, oh, stay in a surplus for as long as possible. But reality of it is, once you've been in a surplus for 20 weeks and you progress your lifts and you're fucking on a cycle, it's like you're done, like you just said then, Andy, you're done ready for another phase to change it up just mentally. And I think it's more successful than running.
Yeah. You know, get appetite fired again, ready for the next push up. And again, like all you do is put yourself into a position ready to make more progress. Like at the end of the day, if someone stayed like through a health phase on higher calories and got softer and fatter, they put themselves in a worse position for the next push up. Anyways, I think it makes total sense, man. Like in any health phase, really.
Yeah, so that's what
if you need to tidy up, you know.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do is I'll do that like priming phase. So really, it'll be a 12-week prep, but more like 16-week, because it'll be like I'll be dieting through a
and that's exactly the way I've set my timeline up. I've actually set my timeline up for the you know, the PCA just said they're doing the Welsh show in the Celtic Manor, like new.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'll fucking do that on my doorstep first, and I'll probably do some like NPC shows after.
What date is that show, bro?
It's the end of August, so it's like 40 weeks last week, so it must be 39 weeks now about that. But it looks like that's going to be a good show, bro, because we know like PCA put a good show on, like the production good, stage is good, the lighting's good, and that venue is going to be mega, bro, because it's a brand new venue, but obviously at the Celtic Manor as well.
I could potentially jump into that. See, thinking about it,
it'll be a fucking good show. That they're doing it as like the PCA little pro qualifier as well. So
yeah.
What did you think of the Amsterdam show? Okay.
It was good. I didn't see a lot of it. I was there for the Classic Pro. Elliot won that. Elliot looked class, man. So I watched the Classic show, and then obviously Kaya did the Pro show then. So Alex Lord took that one. He looked great as well. It was good.
Crazy muscle. I saw Martin Winston post his.
He showed me the Martin. I was with Martin the day before for a bit.
23 pounds is put on.
Mate, the transformation picture they've got. Well, I mean, we know how he's put that on, but it's fucking incredible. Like, fair play.
Yeah, and that was done in a health phase, a little bit of like 18-week push-up phase.
So they put the breakdown online, didn't they?
Yeah, and that just shows you if you're 12 months, like 23 pounds of muscle is fucking.
Bro, you could definitely make progress in all these phases. Man.
Did you see that video Alex put up about like explaining how he's done it and all that?
I think it was down to, well, the only bits I seen was obviously him controlling his day.
Yeah, just like putting things in place so that he can do everything he needs to do.
I had it on the podcast that we run, and someone asked like, when did I make the most progress? And I said when I could quit like working and become like a full-time coach, because it's like like you can, like you said, Andy, you can stay in that routine. You can just locked into whatever, and you control your whole day. So
like my days literally run like clockwork, boys. I'll be honest. Like in terms of like the time I'm up, the time I'm doing like my travel in the morning, the time I have my first meal, the blocks I have for doing the check-ins, and I train at the same time, but it never changes because it's one thing that I can keep that variable consistent, and I can do what I need to do around that, and it helps me in terms of what I need to do. Like I feel better training at that time. I don't like training late. You know, at the end of the day, we'll make the day work around our goals and what we need to do. But for me, it's like it's so important. And I think people say to me like, how are you on it all the time? But bro, like if I'm not on my diet, I'm not on my shit, I don't feel good, bro. So it's like I love that. I think there's definitely a part of me that's probably a little bit OCD. That's why
100%.
Having like you see me doing it when you come over and we do
100% OCD, bro.
You probably think like, you know, my meals, bro, like they're all like perfect to the gram, but I can't think of any other way of fucking doing it.
Yeah, you have to do everything like so precise.
But the thing is, as much as you're saying that, and right, obviously you've put things in place that you can obviously make the progress you're making because everything is aligned throughout your day, day to day. But there's still no excuse for anyone else to be able to do that. Like I always say, like people ask me about my routine. My routine is the fact that I've got no fucking routine. The only thing I know is I need to get my meals in, I need to get my training done, my cardio done, around whatever fucking routine the day is going to throw at me. So it's great having everything in place, which makes it easier for you to do it.
I think it's less stressful.
The flip side, bro, you're very, very good in chaos with your routine. I'm not. So I go like, for example, last week, it fucking knocks me for 6, bro. Like with the travel, like prepping, like doing.
What I think it is, Andy, is what Jay said before. Is like he's conditioned to that.
Yeah.
Because for me, I can't think if I'm going to a show at the weekend, I'm like, oh my God, and I don't eat. I just grab something. I take one meal, and I'm like, because I've not had to really prep anything or go to work or do these things for that long. And like you said, Andy, I just live by my day. The minute I'm like put out of my comfort zone to be like, oh, I'm going to go to stay over somewhere, I'm thinking, what do I do here? Like,
it was funny, man, because after that shoot in Manchester the other day, we went to like a breakfast spot, and like Yemi grabbed like a full English and French toast, and I'm sat next to this Olympia qualified guy, and I'm like, I had a glass of fucking water, bro, and I'm like, man, that's like another level, bro.
Yeah,
another, just the physique is, I'm like, it's like that's crazy.
But this is where people think as well that they can get away with that, but you don't realize like
you're not Yemi, bro.
people can, like when genetics come into play, So I love 𝘗𝘰𝘰𝘠𝘕, and he does work really fucking hard. But a lot of the and even less like pros or whatever, like they don't realize how hard someone else has to work to make the progress they do. Like to make progress, even not the same progress, but like progress like we do at our rate. Do you know what I mean? So it's like they're like fucking busting the road. Like me, I don't do everything to the T, but I'll still like turn up on prep and be like sweet, and still probably beat some people that have. Do you know what I mean? So like,
I think for me, I have to be all in because, you know, especially with the hype, bro. Like I'm still trying to build this frame out, so I'm just not in a. I'm in a position where I don't mind it, bro, because I love the work. I love the process, so it doesn't bother me. But I think like with Yemi as well, he was saying how important it was for him to have a bit of a break now, post like that 6 month prep he did, which was savage. So I get that, bro. Like 100%. 100%, but it just makes you think as well, like, bro, you know the game, like, you're me, like, looking at him, I'm so far away from these people, bro.
I think we all think like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, you never really see your actual, like, physique. And I think that someone actually asked me a question, is like, I think people are driven by, like, the dreams or by the fears. And I think that's one of the biggest things with, and I don't like to say, oh, we've got body dysmorphia or we're insecure or whatever, but you're actually fear of like not being good enough or like you're not going to amount to it or get there actually pushes you on to work harder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's my thought process.
Oh yeah,
100%. Just nail that.
Yeah. Like I think to myself, like, what if I fucking fail? Like, I've got to make sure I fucking do everything I can and not to fail. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You driven, I think people are driven more by that than they
by
are
fear.
By the fear than the actual success.
Yeah.
Because the thing is as well is like the success is so momentary, but I think we are all looking at other people's opinions of us and what we think, like, what will people say? Like, you've been in a prep, I've done it before, where I think I've got to turn up on because people will be saying stuff.
And this is all about mindset, right? And one of the chats I had with Yemi, which was really interesting, he was like, bro, I'm so fucking confident.
Crazy.
But what phase I'm in, off season or not, I think I look fucking great. And that's the difference with him. Like, you need, you know, like you said there, like, I think we all put pressure on ourselves. And I think trying to get you to believe in yourself more, it takes you to that next level. I like prepping Travis this year, bro. Like, Jay will know because we did a few filming things together. Like, he's got great physique, man, but his self-belief wasn't where it needed to be. And I was trying to just get that out of him. But it's funny because I fucking need that as well, bro. You know? Yeah. But I can see it in other people and try and get it out of them. But I do think as well, like with me, bro, like I know when I next compete, man, I have to fucking smash it because like last year it wasn't great, bro. Like when I last competed, it wasn't like that was like almost like the for me, I've always done all right, man. So I'm like, fuck, that was weird. Like
it doesn't
knocks me.
This is the thing that I have, and I think I spoke to Jay about this a few times when we've been filming. Really strange for me now because I've always gone into shows knowing I'm gonna win. Like I'm gonna win. Like, I know I am. Now I'm a pro. It's like you're like I don't know it. So that, like you say, that level of confidence going into a show, into a prep, it's difficult because you're thinking, I don't fucking know if I am. I don't. And like, well, yeah,
you need to almost instill those self-belief, the self-belief you had before.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And I have this thing now where it's like, fuck going for second call out. You know, like when everyone's, and you don't, like, everyone's going to tell you, yeah, I'm just going to go for second call out and just work my way up. But in my head, I can't be training or dieting for second call out because I think, what is the fucking point?
Yeah.
Like, I need to be going in there going like, well, let me try and fucking win this thing, because then you go all in. And that's where Yemi competed with me in Ireland, and he was like, I'm going to win. He's like, and I thought, so you're not. I know you're not going to win, but in his head, he was like, I'm going to win. Like, me and you, bro, we'll win this. Like, me and you first and second backstage. And I was like, you know, I'm fucking not first or second. And he was like, well, he has that belief.
Yeah. I think as well, though, it's important to be realistic with your goals, but when you fucking know you're good, it's different as well, you know?
Yeah. It's a different sort of level of belief in it. But yeah.
100%.
It's good one.
Andy, while we're on the subject of the shoot in Manchester, mate, congratulations on making the biggest billboard in Europe or whatever it's called.
Yeah, thanks. I think it was the second biggest, yeah.
Cheers for crediting Magic Eye on that one. I appreciate it, you prick.
Yeah.
He didn't credit.
Well, I did. I said it.
I know. I'm joking.
Look at our picture on it.
It's cool though, mate. It's a sick little thing they got going there.
Yeah, it's work. It's one like near me, innit? So I have to see Andy's face, and I'm like, fuck off, man.
Oh, did you see it now? Did you see it?
Hey,
You
no,
actually see
I
it?
didn't. It's in town centre.
Yeah.
So like we avoid town centre like the plague because it's like
Where do you live, bro?
Manchester.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but it's like if we go into town centre, you're going to be 45 minutes to get out of. You probably where did you train at, Andy?
I went to FLF.
Yeah, so like you know when you go for like to FLF and it's like city set, that's just the outskirts of city centre, innit? But if you try to get out of there back to like your town, it's fucking hell.
Oh, yeah. Bro.
Yeah,
Even just getting out of there, it's work.
Oh.
When I shoot on a Friday in Manchester or FLF, and I leave there at like 4:30, man, I'm trying to get out to Manchester for an hour.
Yeah, you've got no chance.
Yeah, because I wanted to check out EP Jungle, but they said it's like 20-30 minutes away, so I was like, fuck that.
So on a sat nav, it'll tell you 25 minutes, but from like FLF to EP, you're talking 45 an hour.
Really?
Just because of the traffic. Yeah, it's because I was looking at like houses or like apartments and things in city centre because I like the vibe, and I'm like, but even to get Frontline or go anywhere, once you've got out of city centre to get back in, it just takes so long.
I'll be honest, bro. I've been to Manchester a few times over the years, not for ages, and I really liked it, man. I thought this is a nice place.
Yeah,
everything it looks cool, man. I know everyone says it's a great city, but even like just being up there and yeah, I thought I could get.
I think now, like I train at EP, like the community they've got at EP, it's mad. There's so many pros down there, but everybody's on the same wavelength. And who's running the show, he's buying new machines every day, and it's kind of like it's that old school bodybuilding culture. You still got obviously young kids coming in doing tripods and that, but it's a lot more of the old school bodybuilding culture and like the camaraderie of like, oh, what are you doing? Yeah, I've missed that from most gyms.
Oh, bro, it must give you that environment. It must be so good to be in. And I think the environment's so important. And what do you think? Have you trained in FLF, bro?
Yeah, I trained there with Oscar for a bit. I just find it's like a PT, like sort of, it's kind of dead, which some people love that. Like if you want to, I'd like to train there in prep because you don't see anyone.
Because you don't talk to anyone and get
distracted. Talk to anyone, but like you say, to be in that bodybuilding bubble of EP, everybody's like, you've got Josh McHale in there, you've got like me, there's loads of different coaches who've got clients coming in every day.
Yeah, and it's cool to be around that. Yeah.
It's like when you go to a show and everybody's talking about what shows you're doing and what these are doing and where we're going and what you're doing with this, and you kind of like reconfirms like the bodybuilding community.
Yeah.
You probably have that quite a bit, don't you, Magic? Because you're around it a lot.
Yeah, I get to like dip in and dip out of it, which is nice, but then it's never home, is it? So like, you know, for me, like for me and Andy down here, there's a few of us, there's a handful of us now which are really serious about it, but we're all spread out all over the freaking gaff. Like there's probably 5 gyms between all the people that are down here. Whereas if all those 5 people were like in the same spot, like EP, it'd be sick. We'd all be training about the same time. I'd imagine that would make a really nice community.
I tell you what's quite good as well is you think when you're a big fish in a little pond, but then when there's other guys around you who like, there's a kid in the gym who's been to, you know, Zach's physique guy, can't pronounce his name, when I butcher it, the black kid who went to the Olympia.
Yes, I can't remember his name, but yeah.
But he looks fucking unreal. And you're like, oh, I thought I looked quite good, and now he looks amazing. Right, I'm gonna have to level up.
Yeah.
So it kind of recalibrates like what the standard is.
Yeah, that's a good thing about my job, being around all the people, is like I leave there and I'm like, still a lot of fucking work to do here, boy.
Yeah, you're feeding off that constant motivation, bro. And that's what I loved about when I was spending some time in Dubai, and I really wanted to move there. But my missus, I took her there and she just wasn't up for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about everyone. Just seems so nice, bro, and like willing to support you. And I feel sometimes here people don't like to see other people do well, and I think obviously with the people that we surround ourselves with, we like to see that, and we like to help people, bro, to do well, and it's good to see. You know, and it's just nice feeling that when you get a good environment, bro, it's so fucking key. Toxic environment is something that will see you make zero fucking progress, you know.
Yeah.
If you can, you can steer out of it, you know.
Yeah,
it's difficult, but yeah, you get a lot of people. I find the negativity is because it amplifies somebody doing better, amplifies their insecurities.
Yeah, I actually posted something about, I don't know if you boys saw my story the other day. I saw a really good, I think it was like some woman talking about jealousy and what it actually is. It's people are only jealous because they actually envy you. And it was like a psychologist or something talking about it. And I was just like, yeah, it's, you know, it's funny because if you're not like, you like to see people do well, it's hard when people are fucking jealous of you. When you work hard for that thing, you know.
I've had it. I always do this, like I said before, like I check myself, and I did it with one of the lads that's around here. His family are really well off. They built him this big fucking commercial gym, and someone's like, "Oh, like how's such and such a body?" I'm not naming his name, and I was like, "That's a fucking prick." And I thought, he's not a prick. You secretly deep down just jealous and envious of him. And I had to say, like, nah, I said, he's actually not a prick. I don't even fucking know him. I was like, I'm just perceived him, oh, he's a prick because I was jealous of him. And I was like, shit. I was like, he's actually smashed it. Like, even know how, whatever way he's got it and done it, he's actually doing it. And I was like, yeah, it just come off the top of my head being like, oh, he's a bit of a prick though, isn't he? I don't even know, but people have that. People live their lives like that, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, because they feel so shit about it. Might have been a day where I was just feeling like shit, and I was like, oh, fucking, yeah, prick. But then you've got people who live like that
Constantly, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, constantly, and they feed off that. It just gets, yeah, it's bullshit.
It'll eat you up, that though. It will eat you up.
100%. Yeah, 100%. It's not.
I know, like you've had your fair share of that around here, Jay, with doing so well with the videography and obviously elevating yourself up. And I know we've had talks about this, and it is a shame, man. Like, it is a shame, bro.
Yeah, it's a shit one, man. It's and you get sucked into it as well, because like there's been points in time, which I think I've told you, like where I get sucked in so much that I'm entertaining it to a point where I'm like, right, fuck me, okay, fuck you, and then I'm like, I'm feeling a certain way about certain people that I've gone. All I've got is the fact that they've said this and that, and then it took a while, but then now I am literally so numb to it. I'm just like, psh, I've got bigger things going on.
Yeah, like me and Jay have had that since fucking day one. So everyone still probably hates me. I don't really I don't really care. Like, is it such like, okay, cool, whatever? Because I'll never say anything really bad about anybody else. I just let them do what they want. Like, if you don't actually know me, I don't give a fuck about your opinion.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't actually, like, I didn't actually know that guy I was saying was a dickhead. Like, I don't really know him as a person.
Yeah.
Projected how I was feeling onto him. So I just look at it that way, like people are just projecting how they feel about themselves about me.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm actually a cunt, not a dickhead. But yeah, so what have you trained today, Jay? What did you train?
Push rotation A today.
Have you taken the fucking hip thrust out yet or not?
It's gone, bro. I think I had both of you guys saying about it. I had Richie saying about it. I was saying it to myself every time in the middle of the set. I was like, why the fuck am I doing this exercise? I was like, right, I pulled it, so I've just like replaced it with more hamstrings.
Bro, ask Richie to send you the video of the guy at the Euromasters who won that one bodybuilding class. Bro, we were all looking at it like when we were eating the other day. Well, I wasn't eating out in the water, like, and we were like, what the fuck? It looks like, bro, it was mad. You got to see it. That will be you, bro, if you put a specialization block on glutes, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Richie to send you it.
It was
I
nuts.
have it on my phone so I can forward it to you.
Yeah.
Mark Hector yesterday, what did you think?
I thought it looked fucking awesome, man.
I was buzzing for him. I was he's had a lot of like trials and tribulations and injuries and so on. And I think was the last time he competed the Arnold's,
yeah, under Carl.
Yeah, and he kind of missed it with that and like missed the load and stuff. And I didn't know, looking at like him coming in, I was thinking, I'm not sure if he's going to have grown, whether it's how it's going to look, but he fucking fourth, wasn't it?
Fourth.
Yeah, he looked very good. And it's funny actually, because I saw that Beyond Stage TV post, like his mindset, and he was like, I'm coming in to fucking win this. And I thought, like, cool. Because I followed his journey with like watching some of his YouTubes and the injury with the shoulder. Because when I hurt my shoulder at the start of the year, I was like, oh, someone else has got the same thing. Let me have a look at what they're doing. Obviously a lot more serious than what I'd done. So it was kind of cool to see that, you know. And
this is what we was literally started the podcast off with. It was like documenting that journey. And then now seeing the win, or like seeing the success. That's what it like for me with bodybuilding and stuff like now, as I said to you, Jay, is like it's more about documenting the shit. Because it's like that Rocky scene in it. You know what I mean? Like you see the fight, but I love watching the bullshit before it, like all the hard and trial and tribulation. So my sort of bodybuilding thing is now like document as we go through. Much as you possibly can. So then when you do win or do well, you've got this, like you said, Jay, you've got this fucking bank of content for years, man.
Memory books, man. Said to you, didn't I? I've got fucking 9, 10 years of YouTube videos, all made private now, like, but they're all on my YouTube channel that I can go back and watch from day dot, like.
And I think as well, like when I last prepped Jay and we were doing our content, I probably didn't get enough like stuff just for myself with the physique. Because like, bro, whenever we're doing content, I don't even have to post it. I keep it for myself and like post it on a rainy day. But I think when I prep next time, we'll do a lot more of that just for the memories and shit, you know?
Yeah, it's easy content, man. It's just what it's like, you know, me and Ryan obviously talk about like the content that we're going to plan out and stuff for like the retainer we do in. And it's like ultimately just document what the fuck you're doing because that is your content. It's so easy as a bodybuilder to produce content because your journey is your content. Like
one of the biggest things that I heard as well that kind of made me push on with content this year was it's like I think it's 𝘗𝘁𝘰𝘶𝘥𝘭𝘺, you know, Alex 𝘗𝘗𝘁𝘰.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be creating content now for like, say when Mark, say he won the big man weekend, people are going to go back and watch his videos from then. So the content you're creating now isn't for now because it might only get 1,000 views, but it's for when you actually blow up. So then people go back and watch it all again because you will probably done the same. Like you'll watch some Ronnie Coleman video from fucking 2000. Yeah. And it's like, if he hadn't documented that, like, we'd never see it. Do you know what I
mean? Yeah. And well, like, with the coaching, like, people buy into you. They do actually, like, you need to resonate with a coach you're going to work with. You buy into that person. So the content you're putting out, even though you think, oh, like, someone is, like, looking through that, and over time, they're seeing your videos, and they're starting to resonate, and then they might reach out and want help, you know? So it's, what we're doing as well, it's key for that. And I'm in with Jay on Wednesday now just to do some more stuff. And I think, you know, just get in and get it done. And like I was saying to the kiddie earlier who went to Jay's, I said, look, bro, like, you need to invest in the business. And I'm actually pleased that you've gone to him and invested. And it's like the same with the content and the shop front of the Instagram. You know, it's some people don't want to put the money in, but it does pay off, you know. And like you said, even
one of the biggest things that I found,
that might be the turning point. Actually, I really like this guy. So yeah,
that's one of the biggest things that I found, which was driving me mad. Why I started doing the long form content, because you get just a flat image, and you make a decision on like who that person is from a fucking shot on Instagram of a picture. So like when you're doing YouTube, they actually get a personality. They understand, like, they can see you in your like natural form and actually speaking and what you're actually like, rather than just make an assumption of you like, oh, yeah, he's shredded, or is it this? Do you know what I mean? I like the fact that you can put a personality across, so people are gonna like, and some people might like you, some people might not like you, but as long as you're being yourself, that's what I like.
People like that authentic side as well, and I think people respect that, and they want to see that. They don't, you know.
The only issue you're going to run into, sorry, Anne, go on.
No, you go on.
Yeah, the only issue you run into really is when someone's not got a personality, though, because then that's where the content really struggles.
Have you had that before, Jay?
A lot. Yeah, a lot, man. It's just where people are like, they've not, what you see in that flat image, that is their personality, flat.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then you're trying to they've watched me create these edits for JP and all these, you know, super intense training sessions, but they're not providing that. And then when I deliver something, they're expecting to see this singing and dancing edit, but they're not giving me that to work with in the first place.
Is it awkward as well when you, I know I'm going to be out with people, like, if people don't train hard? I don't understand like how people go in the gym if they're competing and not train hard, but like, is it difficult and awkward when someone isn't really training hard?
Really, especially the fact that I train myself, because I'm filming them and I'm seeing them where they're taking it, which isn't very far. And then the set's done and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, fucking hell, where's the rest? And then they'll say, oh, that was a good set, wasn't it? I'm like, yeah, sick, bro. Sick.
And I don't know if you said about it, Andy, but like, that's where form videos come in. Because we've had guys, like, we'll do team meetups now, and I'll put someone through one set, and they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, that's how you should have been training the whole fucking time we were doing this. Like, yes, you might only have 2 sets of leg extensions, but if you do every set like this, like, and take it all the way there, then you're not going to need 20 sets for legs.
Yeah.
So like they didn't understand the level of intensity. So because I think, again, because we've done it for that long, we just think, yeah, everyone trains hard. But I bet it is awkward to film when
I grew up in the game training with Jamie, and then obviously yourself when you come down to see us as well.
Yeah.
So I think obviously we used to go and train with Michael Issa, bro. I got battered at a young age, bro. I was like, yeah, this is the way.
I had it with Cal. Like I'd send him a video, and he was like, "You're stupid." He was like, "I told you no." Like I remember we did a video, didn't we, Jane? He was like my sets, like Ryan Cartwright sets, because it's like I'll take it there and I'll take it a bit further and a bit further, and that is detrimental. But like if I don't do that, I don't enjoy training.
Yeah.
Like boring. I'm like, oh, it's just like almost like reps in reserve. Like fuck that. You know what I mean? If you're not bleeding from your eyes, like what are you even doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
yeah,
think there's such a big like controversial swing on it. Like you've got the different camps, and then you've got these super high volume trainers. But bro, like look at like Samson, bro, like how he trains. Like he's very high volume, bro. Like you need to do as well, like what you said then, like you enjoy, you know?
Yeah.
And you fucking made progress from that, bro. You're a fucking pro. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's you've got to do. You've got to be able to consistently do something, and the thing that you enjoy the most, you're going to consistently do.
Yeah.
And I'd get honestly, like if you even like high volume with Samson would be harder than anybody else's workout. Like I'd like to see it be decent to see like JP. Well, I think we've had it, haven't we, with Sassan? Like Sass and JP. Like you've obviously filmed Sass, and he does like 3 sets of 12, doesn't he, Jay?
Yeah. Three sets of 10. It's usually a set of 10, plate on, set of 10, plate on, keep going. It's similar to Nathan.
And then
I actually remember watching a video of JP training with Phil Heath on the member side.
Yeah.
Back, and JP was like, I think going way heavier than Phil Heath, and he was like, Phil was just training like higher volume, and it's obviously Phil's got these crazy physique, these crazy muscle bellies, and that was quite interesting.
Yeah, that was at Frontline, wasn't it? That was Frontline, FLF. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Did you film that?
I missed it because I was away, but it got offered to me. Jordan was like, "I'm training with Bill." I'm like, "Fuck, I missed it." Yeah, that did.
That comes back down to as well with like the top level elite pros. Not that they don't have to train as hard, but they don't sometimes have to do what JP would do to accumulate as much muscle. Like they
can touch a weight and just fucking grow.
I seen it with Philippe with a seminar, and someone asked him stupid question. Someone asked him like, "How did he get his arms like he does?" Phil Heath doesn't know how he got his arms. He just curls, and his arms respond. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when you're asking Phil Heath how he gets arms to 23 inch, it's like he doesn't know. He just does. He literally, he said, I like use fat grips, and I'll get fat grips on like the 15 kilos, and I'll just real pump. And I'm like, you ain't got a clue, have you, bro?
No, you're just picking up and lifting it.
Mm.
But again, if you look at that top 10 of the Olympia, who actually trains in the way that I'm going to use Jordan for reference? Who trains in that way?
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, like
there's not many. If Hunter, maybe a little bit, like in terms of like the execution side.
What I've noticed as well is like with the UK, we're very much like camped in now with like this. I think it is the evolution of Jordan.
Yeah.
And legs and what is put out on social media and so on. But like you say, you look at like the top 10 Olympians, they don't train in that manner.
No.
I think the only argument Jordan would probably come back to with that is like because they don't need to.
It is, and that's it. That they don't need to, and that's why they're the genetic elite.
Yeah.
You know,
I think there's been times when like me and Jay have been doing content, and I've gone to do something on training. I'm like, do you know what, Jay? Let's just fuck that off because I can't be asked with any backlash on it. But it's like, do you know what I mean?
Andy hates putting training like stuff out in there.
Well, there's 100 ways to do things, you know. But someone's always going to say, "Oh, that's fucking wrong" or something. And so I'm like, "Oh, fuck it." Do you know what? Maybe it's just best to avoid it.
Yeah, but Jordan's
posting more training clips on the Instagram.
I have seen, yeah. Jordan's very big on like obviously he's like got his way in approach and things, but he's very big on like if anyone says there's an absolute about like that's the way you need to do it, then don't fucking listen to them because there is other ways.
It's like one of the guys we've talked about before, Jay. Like fucking retard, mate. Do you know what I mean? Not even being on stage and trying to tell people this is how you do things. Bro, shut the fuck up, man.
What I think people like though with like social media is the camps. So it's like you're either in like JP's camp or you're either in high volume camp.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't even do, say for example, you do like 2 exercises, rest, pause. and then 3 fucking cluster sets or high volume, or like you could set a chest workout up and have every fucking different sort of methodology in there, but you couldn't do that because it's not the right way. But it's like, if you look at Charles Glass, is it Charles Glass, the old guy in gold? Some of the shit that he does, he'll start off with a heavy press, and then he'll have you doing some mad pec fly that's going to target this angle, and it's like, Dexter.
Bro, look at Milos, like with his
Milos is the same.
giant sets and like
it's, I think people are too camped in and saying like, push pull legs is the way, but it's like, well, there is, like you said, Andy, there's so many ways to do it.
It's funny, man. I was talking with you know, how do I say his name? The Ewan, the guy that Jamie coaches now from Liverpool.
Ewan.
Really nice guy. I met him at the contest shoot, and we were actually having a conversation. He used to be coached previously by Stefan, and he was saying, bro, like I can see a new trend coming because so many guys with Stefan now of like going back to the roots of bodybuilding, how it used to be. You know, he was saying he reckons within the next 12 months. He was saying like, and I was thinking, that would be nice and refreshing, man, if that did happen. Like,
if you look at like Stefan's diets, like you probably have seen that. You've probably seen that with Nathan, haven't you, Jay?
Yeah.
Like
straightforward, like simple.
Straight fucking. But I'll say that like every top level coach, like top level coach that I've worked with, has been so basic. Like nothing fancy, because you're all looking for the secret and the difference, but it is literally just basics.
The secret is the execution, the dedication, and the consistency. That's the secret.
Yeah. And that's the bit that everybody kind of misses out able to do. Because even like with Stephanie, you probably won't have guys eating cereal, and you probably won't have them eating this, or do you know what I mean? It's just pure raw basics. I'm not. You'll probably have to tell me better, Jay, with like Nathan's diet.
Yeah, it is basic. There is cereal in there. But like, there is cereal, but it is outside of that, it's quite basic.
Just a protein sauce and a fucking carb sauce, isn't it?
That's it. Simple. Like there's no level difference to it. I think where Stefan really comes in, obviously the coaching side of things, which I see that Stefan's really good at, is obviously how personable he is with his clients and how he's able to level with each person. Like when I've been with him away where he's got like multiple clients, you can see him almost very much like Carl, where he manipulates his personality and knows what to say and when to say it to the right people, to the certain people.
Carl is like, I call him like a chameleon.
Yeah. Same.
He can change, like, he'll talk to me in one fashion because he knows my demeanor and the way I am and stuff. And then he'll talk to somebody, not change himself, but then he'll like pander to that the way they are motivated. Like he says to me, like, if he'll say, nah, you need to work harder, I'm like, all right, sweet. And then he'll take somebody else and say, yeah, you look great, bro. Like, we could just do a bit more. He'll change the way he is with people. It's a really good skill. That's
what Steph's like, I think. And then obviously when it comes down to the nitty-gritty stuff with obviously drug protocols, and then the peak week does some like shit that I've not seen done before there. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. There's some bits he puts in the mix. I don't know exactly what they are, so I wouldn't like to comment, but I know that he puts some things in which I haven't heard any other coaches doing things.
That's one of the biggest thing now with Stefan. He doesn't miss.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
I just saw yesterday, like, Blessing tagged him up like on Insta, and I was just like, yo, he's got so many guys, bro.
Me and Nathan counted through the other day when I was up there for the Ronnie thing. And
he must be he is like the go-to like coach at the minute, man. He's got the most athletes. He must be.
He's got people behind the scenes that haven't even announced they're with him, that are named.
He just got Sean as well, didn't he?
Sean's there. Obviously Martin and that, and Regan's there now as well.
Yeah.
You see this every year though.
Yeah, we do.
You had like, remember Nathan Harmon, and then you have like JP, and then everyone got, and then like it was Patrick as well.
Yeah.
And everybody has the time, they'll get a few athletes that are great, and then it's like, I just pray and hope, because I messaged Stefan actually about prep, and I just pray and hope that he doesn't get to a point where
too busy.
He's just too busy.
Yeah. Realistically, he already is.
Yeah, he's
got to be, man. Me and Nathan counted through, and there's like 8 guys that he's coaching now, which are potential top 10 Olympians. There's 8 guys on his roster, and then that's with people that didn't even compete under him this year, and he already had 17 athletes across the board in different divisions.
Yeah.
So
in the Olympia.
in the Olympia, bro.
So
he's got the amateurs. I see him like pulling pro cards out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as well, like, I think we've had this conversation, Jay, like people, when you get to that level, you have to then just dial it back to like the elite, because you're just not going to be able to handle that sort of level of,
yeah.
Because I had it where I peaked 6 or 7 guys who are British and my head is fucking back.
It will fucking absolutely destroy you.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's just being able to be on it, you know, like with the people. I know he's probably autistic as fuck from what I've seen, but in a sense of like to be on it with that many people and that many peaks and being that diligent with it to detail, which needed, I think it all comes crashing down. Like that's what happens to coaches like that.
Yeah, I think. Well, Nathan has even said this on his stuff anyway, so it's not even like a thing that he doesn't want to say. But he's even like spoke to Stefan and saying, "Look, I'm not sure how I feel about this because I want to be like the guy, you know."
Yeah. Well, he had it, didn't he? Remember when Nick Walker wouldn't go with Jansen, and he was like, "No, I don't want to be with you anymore because you got."
Oh yeah, because he had Sean and Brett, wasn't it?
Something like that, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't think you're going to give me the time or whatever it was."
Yeah.
As bodybuilders, like if you're going against, like you say, the top 10 fucking Olympians, like which Nathan would be doing, you don't really want the same coach per se.
Yeah, you're gonna start looking and thinking, is he gonna be more favoring him more? Is he fucking me up or what? You know.
It's one of them things, isn't it? That is where very difficult for Stefan, but that's where like Carl's done well to bring in a team. Because it's like, well, you bring in a team and then he'll take, like Zach's taking some of the amateurs and bringing them straight through to Olympias now, isn't he?
Yeah, Zach's killing it, man. I think Carl might have got to that point at one time, and that's why he had to kind of make a little switch with how the business is, because he was probably feeling the pinch himself.
Yeah, at one point, Carl would have done what Stefan's doing now if it had just hit the mark with a few people. You know what I mean? Like he had the runway there to go like Mark Hector, like Rob, all these different, and it was like, oh, if it had just got them wins, just put them in perfectly, he would have like skyrocketed him to be the guy to go to for that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But his time will come.
One breakthrough, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just need one person.
One person, yeah.
Like Martin's probably the guy that's done it for Stefan this year. And Nathan.
Wesley and Urs.
Yeah, but I don't think Urs. I think Urs has always been there, but then no one kind of really cared because
they're there, but no one cares. Sorry, classic boys.
Like they were like time, weren't they? They weren't the new.
Yeah, there was. I think with Urs, it was like a normal progression. They knew he was going to be like that. So, well, with Martin coming in, he was never really down to be fourth. So it's like, in that how's he done that? Do you know, like, how's he, like Alex Lord, how's he got to that amount of
This flip side then. So you got Wesley coming off Arnold wins back to back, and then his coach who's been with for like 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, then he places worse at Olympia. So what's Wesley's mindset? Is it like, oh my God, he's suddenly too busy?
Yeah, you don't know,
If that was
does it mean then you start losing some of your top guys?
If that was any of us that coached anyone on the amateur level and that happened, they'd be gone. They'd be up to another coach. They'd hop. They'd fucking be gone.
I've had it where clients have won and they've hopped.
Yeah, I had that too.
I'm like, sorry? Like, all right. I don't know what more I can do. I literally don't know what more I can do. But yeah, that is a big thing. And saying like, even with myself, I want like my coach to be there at a pro show, and you're kind of picking your coach to say like I'll openly say it. Say Martin. Like last year, Martin would have been very accessible. I feel like Martin now won't be that accessible heading into 2025 because he's got a lot of good pros now, and it kind of you think like, do I want to be tier 2 guy? You know, like you're like, even though you say that's not going to happen. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's difficult for the top guy coaches to then have so many pros. That's probably why like Milos and Acito and that, they'll just cherry pick and just ride the wave with them guys.
Yeah, but they're also fucking saying they're coaches of people and they're not actually coaching them though. Because that's happening a lot in the industry as well, where, you know, there's secret coaches behind the scenes, like Milos, for instance. without saying names, there's people that he says he coaches that he doesn't actually coach. Like, there's no.
What do you think the reason behind that is, though? Money.
Clout and money.
Yeah, but so he's claiming that, but it's probably the athletes are not telling him that he's not coaching.
No, he's aware. I'll tell you off here.
Yeah, but so
it's clout. It's Milos is a name, innit?
Yeah. Oh, so the athletes want
they're riding the name. They're riding the name.
It's fucking nuts, man, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it plays a huge part. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
In the top game, it plays a huge part of, like, if you've been to see Steve Weinberger, or if you've been to see this person.
Oh, huge, man. You're putting money in the right pockets. You're fucking shaking the right hands.
It's the same with Sasan. Like, I was having a chat with him at the PCA Manchester, and I said, Sass, there's another generation of bodybuilding that has come about since you've been away. So no offense, Sass, nobody knows who you are. Like, no one knows that you're a great bodybuilder. I do, and the old school generation do, but this new wave of bodybuilders don't. So you need to be putting yourself out there in front of people. And this is with the judges' feedback. He was like, I need to get bigger. I think you told me, Jenny, you need to get bigger, I need to get bigger. And it's actually, no, you need to get in front of more faces and in front of more people.
Be active.
And become more popular.
Yeah.
Because I think it's human psychology. Like, when you're popular, and Stephen Weinberger said this on Fuad's podcast. He said, like, we've already kind of got, like, he's going to probably be there, he's going to be, and we put them out, and if they're not, like, we put them back. But also,
on that podcast topic, there was a part of that podcast that confused me a little bit. How Steve,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're going to say.
He doesn't meet bodybuilding criteria. So how the fuck did he come second? If that's the case, how did he come? If he doesn't meet bodybuilding criteria, how is he in the fucking mix? Should be 16th.
Yeah,
confused me. I was like,
the other thing that confused me as well is the run where if it was about mass, like Martin had the mass.
Yeah, why is fucking Horse MD not placed higher? And, like, yeah,
exactly. Or why is the guy?
Sean.
Yeah, why is Sean not? Or why?
Yeah.
And then I think he said Sean because of stature.
It was his frame.
Yeah,
it was his frame, but because they brought it down to, like, Martin's, like, musculature, condition, symmetry, and then Sean beats Chris on musculature, condition.
Well, I was like,
and then the frame.
I was hoping I was going to learn about a lot about the. Let's see how they've done this, and I just like.
You went around in a circle a little bit.
What they feel like, yeah.
I think Fuad clocked it, but I think he just didn't want to say.
Like, what I didn't understand as well was the guy that got, was it fourth?
Mateus.
Looked like a little bit smaller version than Seaborn.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the run, like the other guys that like Presti and people like that are huge, they should, if that's the criteria, bodybuilding criteria, he should have beat him.
Yeah.
You look like Seaborn. So, like, if Seaborn's not good enough because he's not big enough to beat Martin, he shouldn't be, like you say, Andy, he shouldn't be bodybuilding criteria. Yeah. It's
I just honestly, bro, it fucking blew my mind. I was really confused. I was like,
do you reckon he's going to go again then, Chris?
I don't think he's got it in him.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not sure unless he moves away now and really, has that urge to come back.
Because we know what it's like, where we've walked away or we've not, like Rai said and I said, where I've had that time away and I'm like, okay, I'm doing this now. And then this, which you've known for fucking, well, me not so long, but Chris, 15, 20 years, is no longer part of you.
I think you can only lose now, though. There's not much to gain from going open.
And, like, it's got to be down. It's got to be on passion now, because he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the exposure. He's so popular. He's done what he's set out and built a legacy. So it has to be on, like, he needs to compete for himself.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be a monetary value for it. He doesn't need that, bro. Like, I had this conversation, actually, funny enough, in the gym earlier. It came up, and I was just like, doesn't fucking need it, bro. Like, because someone said, he'll be back, And I was like, I don't know.
No, I don't think he's got any unfinished business either.
No.
Yeah, like, when you sat there and thinking, could I have been my best? Could I have been better? Like, the only unfinished business he's got is winning an open show, which really I don't feel he'd care about. And then going to the Olympias and Open, he's only going to.
And he's got
yeah, he's only going to go backwards. So he's better. Well, I feel like personally, he'd be better off to go into something else and do that.
The only thing I think would sway him is, where he said that he wanted to finish, he started as an open guy and he wanted to finish as an open guy.
Yeah.
Don't know whether he'd want to finish on the biggest stage as an open guy. That's the only, I know for me, like that's what I'd want to do, is finish on the biggest stage as an open.
Got a lot of time to do it if he wants to do it.
Or even down to the fact that like maybe with the competitive side of things for us, it's not even about the actual show. It's about the look. So if you've never pushed your body to the full potential of what it can actually be to, maybe that little niggle of like, well, what could have been?
Yeah.
What could I, like, how far can I take it? Because I think that's what we're all driven by as bodybuilders, is like, how far can I really take this to look the best I could ever look? And like you said, it's got so much time financially and everything else to do that. It would probably eat away at you to be like, that might be a regret.
It's like the flex thing, isn't it?
I honestly, looking at like Derek and looking at Haddy, he could have been the Mr. Olympia.
Open, yeah.
Open. He just didn't. I don't know.
He still looks fucking insane now, by the way. I've watched one of his YouTubes recently and he rags off. He's like got in shape for his 40th, is it, or whatever?
Yeah,
he's like, I don't know, he's just like maybe TRT and just looks nuts.
Yeah, it's just still there, all there, isn't it?
He's always going to look fucking good, isn't he? But I think with Flex, he was that. Do you know what I found actually? You won't know him, but a guy called Roger Shelley, he used to post up a lot of old school bodybuilders like shots and Flex from when he was younger. And I remember because obviously Neil prepped me, didn't he, when I was younger? So I would always aspire to look like fucking hell, look how good Flex looked at 21. No word of a lie, at 21 now, like he would like, how old's like Kyan?
21, yeah.
Kyan would school him all fucking day long, Flex.
Yeah, Kaya's got to be going for NPC next year.
Most juniors at that level, like 21 to 23 now, would have beat Flex. But I remember back in the day, Flex was held up as like this next phenomenon, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was never seen like, but now there's 19-year-olds that are fucking winning overalls like that.
Yeah, there's nuts guys about now. It kind of makes me question why the fuck I'm bothering.
Nah.
Yeah, the scene is wild, man. It is a standard.
That's what I was having a conversation the other day about, where this whole like, oh, it's dead easy to get a pro card now. It's so much easier, but there's so many more people competing, and there's so much more information out there, and there's so many good guys. So when you took it as like, oh, there was like 12 in a NABBA fucking England class, and maybe like what 5 or 6 in the British finals at UKBFF. There's fucking 20, 30 guys in a fucking class now.
Yeah.
Compared to from all over the world, compared to like 5 or 6. I remember when I did UKBFF, like in Luke Sandow's class or Sass's class, there'd probably be like 4 guys, four super heavies, and that was it. So you're only going against really like 20 guys. Where now, if you're doing a British finals, you're going against fucking 100 people.
Yeah.
In every class, isn't it? So yeah, it is. I feel like it's still, there is more opportunity to get pro cards, but the pool of people is getting so much.
It's still in those, like, I think Carl's got posts out about it. It's like the 1% still, really, when you look.
Yeah, it's like, it's the 1%, which is mad. But yeah, I think that's down to the coaching level as well. Like, if you remember, fucking hell, we didn't have coaches till we were fucking.
Like when you and Jamie were coaching, bro, there was no coaches. But I remember watching how I first came about you guys. I remember watching like that Welsh show where Jamie won the overall, and that's when I started following. Then I got your page, started following you, and we're talking like 2014 maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was it's the first time I was like, what's this guy's online coach? What's that? Like, bro, I swear. And then I inquired, and I remember when I got the email back, and it was like, you two trained pros and all this, and I was like, yo, this is sick. Let me do this. And I was like, fuck, this is fucking this is cool.
Yeah, it was. But now, like, you can be 16, decide you want to be a bodybuilder, and you've got a coach.
Yeah, and it's so accessible, bro. It's all out there. Everyone knows.
These
online coaches are popping up like they're fucking.
But you're skipping as well. You're skipping like 5 to 10 years worth of fucking shit knowledge of trial and error and accountability. Like, you imagine going from 16 to 20 on a perfect diet, perfect training, perfect everything we're doing now at newbie. Fucking hell, you'd just blown up, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
When you're 20, you'll be like a fucking British champion, easy.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, it's mad. But yeah, that's the way the industry's going. But
Crazy, man. Andy, I think we've run right over your time, I think.
Yeah, I actually spoke to that dude before I came on this.
I meant to train at fucking 5.
Mate, so no stress. So that was nice. Because I actually enjoyed catching up with you both today. It's been good chatting.
Yeah, it's good. I can't believe we've been on so long.
I know, because we're all fucking love chatting about ourselves.
Self-centered bastards.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm worried about Richie because I've not seen no texts. Like, what the fuck's going on with him?
Yeah, give him a shout.
Yeah.
Give him a shout.
I appreciate you having me on anyway, guys. I know I'm not Welsh, but I've lived there.
Well, I'm English, but as well. Jay's outnumbered here.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm bigger than both of you, so fuck it.
Look at him, busy fucking.
People think I'm Welsh all the time. It's like my dad and all this time is from Liverpool.
Yeah.
My mum was born in England too, but then her family are Welsh. So I'm born in England, bro.
Oh, so yours actually, yeah. Jay's put. I remember my first good off season went with Jay. Like Jay's putting some size on. He's like, I'm bigger than both.
Yeah.
Just sitting here like this for fucking 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm gonna actually go train for once.
Right, stay on. Right, we need sort of date out for your next shoot as well. Andy, I'm with you Wednesday.
Okay, sweet.
But stay on quickly. Thank you for watching, guys. Follow Ryan, Ryan Rhino _ IFBB Pro.
Maybe. Ibuprofen _ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen.
Yeah. Right now, the hamstring.
Yeah, no, mate.
One good hamstring on his side shots. But yeah, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next episode.